What's up, y'all? It's Frank Payne with another episode of Loud and Unfiltered. Now, today, we're going to be hearing from Morgan Rose of Sevendust. This is another one of those flashback interviews that'll take us back to 2015. Sevendust had just released their album called Kill the Flaw. In my opinion, that album is pretty much descriptive of the entire Sevendust vibe. It's one of my favorite albums ever. Also, one of Morgan Rose's favorites ever as well, and you're going to get to hear that in this interview. So enjoy it, y'all. Here's Morgan Rose of Sevendust from 2015. Now, we pick up where Rose tells us what the band does while they're out on tour, but they have a day off. Here's Loud and Unfiltered. Now, so what do you do on your days off? Do you actually, wherever you're at, do you get out and kind of, see the sights, or do you just use that time to relax?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on, how many shows we've done in a row going in, and, if we need to lay up and just try to let the bones, get back in line, or, if we've only played a few shows and we had a day off not, long before, then we usually try to get out and have a little too much fun.
You know what? It's rock and roll, Morgan. There's no such thing as too much fun. I guess there probably is, huh?
Right. It feels a little different now than it did, 17 years ago.
Yeah. I'm 46 now, and I'm sitting here trying to think back on, the way I used to party 20 years ago when I was 26. And I'm like, dude, there's no way I should be alive right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah.
But God, anybody that says it wasn't fun, they didn't do it, I guess, because I had a lot of fun back then.
That's right, man. But you guys have definitely come a long way. You've always had that knack of writing incredible music. But I gotta say, the new album "Kill the Flaw" is, to me, if I was to describe Sevendust with just one album, this would be it. This is, to me, the pinnacle of the Sevendust career. It's incredible.
Oh, man, thank you so much. I mean, I got a bunch of calls from a bunch of my friends that are in other bands and some really big bands, and, they were like, telling me how much they love the record, and they were saying, listen, there's a different kind of vibe about this thing. There's a buzz about this thing right now. I hope you're enjoying all this. And we've been so locked into the business side and paying attention to numbers and chart numbers and all that stuff for so long, and anticipating where the record would go when it was released and all this stuff. And, mainly just to see if we were still relevant, to see if anybody still wanted us to play. And on this record, we just didn't think about it too much. It got a little as we got really close to the release. We started to ask a few questions. How's it looking out there? But we really didn't stress over it too much. And then it came out, and it's the highest chart position we ever had, and doing really well. And we had some really good tours that we're involved in, and it's just we're happy to be here. We're glad that there's still some people out there that want us to come through town.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody loves Sevendust. It doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, you're one of the few bands that really transcends, I guess, demographics, because every time I've seen you guys play, there's, from the cradle to the grave, there's every single age group represented at a Sevendust show. It's just because you guys, the longevity that you have, you're one of the few bands that can remain relevant. You were talking about the concern over the band's relevance. You guys are one of the few that actually have been able to remain relevant. And I think that's incredible, man. And and like I said, you can hear the rejuvenation, the youth, the energy, the love, the passion in the new album, Kill the Flaw. I freaking love it.
Man. Yeah, that was the idea. We did the acoustic record before that, and I think it was the best thing we ever did, because we were able to really calm down. And then, after we had a few months of sitting there in that mode.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, let's fire this thing up and let's go after it. So the record, I think, is more challenging than anything we ever did.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if it's heavier, but there's a lot of love in this record. And, you know, you never know when it's going to be your last one.
Right.
And in the state of the industry as it is, you know, we haven't fully decided on how we're going to move forward, whether we're going to do something that's brand new that no one else has ever done and release like a record at the end of a year, but release a song every month.
Wow,
and we don't know how we're going to do it. You know, we're trying to figure out exactly. We want to be ahead of the curve if there's any way possible.
Yeah.
And so we don't know if this will be the last full length, you know, at least, you know, that gets released all at once.
Right.
So, you know, we took a lot of pride in doing this one, and not that we didn't in the others, but this one was extra special. And you know, I'm glad that everybody is. I'm glad it's being received well.
For sure. Now let's talk about the idea to stream this album, you know, ahead of its release date. You know, was that something that was you know, a decision made within the band or management, or how did that come about?
It was our manager brought it to us, and you know, I mean, people are going to get it however they want to get it. I mean, you know, if somebody wants to, I mean, we don't want returns. We don't want to rip anybody off. We don't want somebody to buy the record and be like, "Oh, this record's crap." But even still, the day the record comes out, you know, it's all over, and you could watch it and listen to it for free on the internet all you want. You can go to Apple Music and you can pay $10 for, you know, every song and record that's ever been, you know, made, or you can spend $10 on a Sevendust record. So it's like, you know, and by the way, when you get every song that's ever been made, you can get that same Sevendust record. So it's like, you know, I mean, the idea of trying to hide music, you know, you don't want to really throw it out there right away and let everybody get a grip on it before it comes out. But we knew that it wasn't going to do much damage. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be. The way that it is these days is, you know, I mean, the amount of records that we sold to have the highest chart position is probably the least amount of records that we've ever sold first week, because people just don't buy music as much anymore.
Right. That's true. It's,
so the streaming idea was, you know, let's get it out there. Let's see if we can build a little excitement. You know, it wasn't, if it was 5 years ago, we would have been screaming and freaking out about it, you know, but, and trying to shut these things down, you know, and now we're like, go ahead and get it out there.
Right. Well, for those that are just now tuning in, we've got Morgan Rose from Sevendust on the horn with us. A second ago, you talked about Apple Music. Now, speaking of Apple, you guys got a pretty solid shout out during the Apple TV presentation. How did that come about? Man, that's pretty big, man. That had to give you a chubby.
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I was asking, you know, certain people in the industry, I'm like, what does it cost to have that type of placement? You know, like, what would somebody pay to have that? And they were like, I don't know, 6 figures. And I was like, oh my God, you know, like, it was just one of those things where we had a girl that was a fan of the band, you know, that was in a position to be able to make that decision and use our music. And we didn't really even know if it was definitely going to happen until basically the day that, you know, that they had that event.
Yeah.
So we were all just kind of hoping that it would happen, but, you know, it was just, I couldn't believe that, you know, we got so lucky that we had somebody that was a supporter of the band that was in that position to be able to do that. I mean, it might have been the only song that was even played during that entire event.
I think it was. That's awesome, man. And speaking of fans of the band, Sevendust has forever been known as a fans band. You guys, you know, you can do all the digging you want on the internet to try to find some dirt on Sevendust. You're not going to find it. You've always been a band that has been about the fans. I mean, you know, do you see nowadays that, with social media, it allows bands to stay more connected, connected, but, what's been the change? Has that been the primary change since like the day that you guys started? Because when you started off, I mean, that's been Sevendust the entire time. Now bands are getting a little bit closer. I mean, is it because of social media?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that social media or not, you got to be good to the people. I mean, I tell everybody, I'm like, LeJean says it all the time. We don't have fans, we have friends and family. And, I've been actually saying this lately. I realized I had this thought that was going through my mind. Somebody was asking me, they said, what's it like to not have a boss? What's it like to be your own boss? And I said, actually, I got lots of bosses.
Yeah.
I've got everybody that comes to that show to me is a boss because, if they don't like what we're doing, then they're not going to be coming around anymore and I won't have a job. So,
right.
I appreciate the people. We started out with that mentality. We couldn't believe that anybody liked our band. And, we're just 5 little Southern dudes from Georgia, and all of a sudden it's like, we did I think we sold 311 records the first week, and I was like, okay, that's probably our entire following. And then the next week it did 450, and I'm like, whoa, who are these people? And then it did 1,000, and it was like, oh my God, who are these people that are supporting our band like this? And we would meet everybody.
Yeah.
When we started out, and it was small, really small. We were able to meet them one by one. And then as it got bigger, we weren't able to quite do that, but we were trying to find a way to let them know that we appreciated them. And it's not just the saying it from the stage and stuff, I mean, I know so many people that, they say all the cliche things. And, without you, we're nothing. And, you're the greatest fans in the world. And it's like, to me, it's demeaning to even call the people that support this band fans. It feels like that's below us or something, so we just couldn't do that. We just don't call them fans. They're family to us. We really care about them. And we try to let them know that, we appreciate them and the loyalty that they have is unmatched. I mean, I can honestly say that we have the best supporters in the business. I mean, I said it a long time ago, and I'll stick by it. You can put anybody's best 1,000 against our best 1,000, and we're going to whip everybody's ass.
Without a doubt, front to back.
You might have 20 million, and we might only have 200,000, in the world. But if you put our best 1,000 against yours, we're going to win every time.
Without a doubt. That's awesome. Morgan Rose from the band Sevendust is on the horn with me. I appreciate you taking some time out. I got a couple more questions, and I'll let you go. I know you're trying to enjoy a little day off.
It's all good. I'm just amped up, for, getting ready to get this thing really fired up. I mean, we're in the support position right now, which is really a great spot for us to get warmed up, and touring with Godsmack, and then with Shinedown and Breaking Ben, and all those guys are family to us, and we get a chance to really hang out with them and spend some time with them and warm ourselves up into this cycle, which will really start kicking in hard in April.
So you guys are already planning that far ahead, then, huh?
Oh yeah, we're booked for a long time. I mean, we're going to finish this up. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say it, but I'm gonna. We're going to go to Australia and do that in March and take a quick break, and then we're going to hit it up right when we get back. And we've already got all the submissions in, and the bands that we're going to bring out with us are going to be, I think that the people will be real excited about that. And for the first time in a while, I think we're going to put together a really, really strong bill with some really great bands, and we're going to bring a lot of production out, and we're going to take the chance of spending a lot of money to make sure that the show's the best show that we've ever put on, and it's going to be exciting.
I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see you guys again. I've seen you on stage 7 times, so an 8th time is definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Now let's talk about the album's artwork, Morgan. Who did this? Mm-hmm. This is some of the most incredible. I could already, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, that's going to be a tattoo. That's probably going to be about 20,000 tattoos because it's that freaking cool. I mean, that's awesome.
It's killer.
Who did it?
We had a guy that our manager hooked up to do it, and we have not always been. It's funny, we're so not artists in that sense, as far as artwork goes and T-shirts and stuff like that. I mean, we're just awful at it. So we just happened to get lucky and landed on, an extremely talented guy, and it was like the first draft he threw together was really, really close to what it ended up being. And we looked at each other and said, "Damn, man, we're gonna have a serious album cover."
Yeah, man, it's cool.
Yeah, man, we were excited to see it, and the backdrop's just giant, and
wow.
I never look back at a backdrop, and occasionally I'll take a look and I'll be like, that's damn cool looking.
Yeah, that's one that, back in the day when we were kids and everything, all the kids you had the posters, you had the tapestries and all that crap, the stuff on the jackets and everything. This is one of those epic that, potentially legendary album covers that you could see that, if we were back in the day where kids actually appreciated the art that came along with it. That's one of those that I'd put up there with like a Journey album cover or Iron Maiden album cover or The Who or Kiss or something like that.
Absolutely. We're probably going to go after some of that old school stuff and see if we can bring the newer generation, back into what we were so excited about back then.
For sure, man. Well, I'll let you go here in just a second. One last thing. Tell us about the new single, Thank You. What's the story behind that? To me, the title says it all, though.
Well, we tried to keep it semi-vague so people could get out of it what they needed. We're really serious about our lyric writing. I've always said that I think some of the reason why we never appealed to the masses was that we just didn't want to write songs that were juvenile. Right. Not that they're not good, but just, we just never could write those kind of words. So everything was a story. Everything was something that had happened to one of us or all of us. And so people have gotten a lot out of our lyrics. We're not in the minority of going through life's trials and tribulations, and a lot of our songs are about that, not necessarily in the negative, but just sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but people can relate to them. And this particular one was more about, basically it's a lot of people think that it's us thanking the people. Yeah. And it does have something to do with that, but there's a few different meanings inside the song.
Gotcha.
Basically it's, someone, helping you up and getting you out of the funk.
Gotcha. That's even that right there is even better meaning than I envisioned. I like it, man. That's good stuff. Morgan Rose from the rock band Sevendust, I can't thank you enough for joining us on the phone today, and best of luck with the new album and the touring, and we'll see you on the road for sure.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support, and we can't wait to get over there to see you guys.
Man, I got to tell you, that interview right there was a lot of fun. Huge fan of Sevendust, always have been. I've seen them probably, I believe in that interview, I said I saw them 7 times at that point. Now it's close to 15. One of my top 5 favorite live bands ever, just one of my favorite bands ever. And the fact that they can rock this hard all these years later just goes to show how great they are, how relevant they are, and how much their fans truly, or as Morgan Rose said, family and friends, as they truly support and love them. Man, what a great interview. Now, you can catch up with the other episodes of Loud and Unfiltered on all the usual suspects: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Buzzsprout, you name the platform, you can check out Loud and Unfiltered. And when you're there, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your parents about it, go tell the dogs about it, tell your neighbors. I don't care. I just need all that support, because that's the only way that this keeps going. I hate to say it that way, but you know what? We got to put food on our plates, right? Hope you have a great one. Don't forget about our website, DaleJr.forPresident.com. And as the lawyers tell me, I've got to give you a disclaimer. We are in no way affiliated with Dale Earnhardt Jr. or his desire to run for president. DaleJr.forPresident.com. Lots of great new merch on this site. Check that out. We'll see you again on Loud and Unfiltered. So please remember, be a good human, drink that Diet Dr. Pepper, and stay loud and unfiltered.